guys, welcome. It's a popcorn. It's a beer. Where some use tomatoes and others use thumbs. We use the stuff that's non-alcoholic today. Bubbles. Welcome to the show once again. I'm Josh. We're joined by Jordan here.
Hey there. We're here.
Hey there. Fry will be back someday. Who knows? I heard he's hiking. But we have some things to talk about. And I think the first is our butter on top. Tell us, Jordan, about Rebel Moon 2 Electric Boogaloo.
Well, like I said in my announcement that this will be our butter on top, we didn't particularly care for the first one.
No,
we didn't. So, part 2 of a movie we didn't like. More of what we didn't like in this movie. Worse, a bit, honestly, a bit worse, a lot worse, honestly. I think I pity gave it a popcorn in 1. The first movie I gave a popcorn in 1 out of pity, like, they're trying to do something here, it's a lot, I'll give it a shot. But just after a year of sci-fi that had Dune 2,
yeah,
this just wasn't it. 30 minutes into the movie, including 5 minutes of like tantric wheat farming.
Mm-hmm.
You know what nothing cool has happened in this movie. About 35 minutes in, like not a single thing. None of the monologues land. At all throughout the movie. And again, what's with the robot? The robot does nothing in the first movie.
Right.
Nothing. And then in this movie, the robot does nothing until like the last 20 minutes, and it has like one cool scene, and then it just kind of dips off, and then that's it.
Isn't it Anthony Hopkins?
I think so, yeah, as the voice.
Why are they using Anthony Hopkins for just flippantly?
They used probably a lot of their budget to get Anthony Hopkins to do a few voiceover lines and just the robot in general, but they must have not. They're just like, yeah, buy the robot. We'll figure out something cool to do with it. Somebody just wanted a robot.
Yeah, we'll take the robot. Throw the robot in.
Yeah, throw it in. When they made this part 2, I think they really, really misgauged how much anybody followed or gave a crap about any of these characters. Because they did nothing more to like make you like these characters. They're just like, yeah, they bought in, they love them. Let's just, let them, let's not develop them any further, really. You know what I mean?
Yeah, way to read your audience. Yeah, they're loving this.
Yeah, exactly. Didn't read the reviews on the first one to try to, to do something better on this one. I don't remember the guy in the tank top at all that fights the guy on the ship. He has like this really prolonged badass moment where he's like fighting through the battlefield, and then he jumps on the bad guy's ship and then just gets the crap kicked out of him and killed. I'm like, where did this guy come from?
Who is he again?
I don't know. Just some guy in a tank top. I have no idea where he came from. Like, was he part of the space pirate crew or the farmers? Who was he? And yeah, I didn't get it at all. This movie just was not good. Not good at all. I give this a popcorn.
A popcorn.
Total popcorn.
All right, well, I didn't see it. I'm going to skip it per your review, but I did. I was intending on saying it this week. I just lost the time. I'm sorry, guys. But I did make the time to watch Rebel Moon 1 this week. I forgot to mention. Like, I remember when Rebel Moon 1 was dropping, they put a lot of time into press. They're like, the event is coming, Rebel Moon. Yeah. And like, they have those things where, like, in the old days, they'd have people like rushing out of the theater, like, what'd you think of the movie? They're like, oh, it was great. Oh, man. And then the lasers and the guy with the tank top and there was a robot. And then this movie, Rebel Moon 2 is coming out, and I didn't know it was happening until you guys told me. So like they already dropped it off. They're like, yeah, let's just dump this one out because we already made it anyway, right? Oh, but Rebel Moon 1, tell me about like they spent so much time on the costuming and like the settings are kind of cool. The
They're
spaceship
cool.
is cool. A lot of it's kind of cool, but they didn't insert one likable character. They didn't insert one like gripping line of dialogue. Like it was so just like maybe like borderline written by an AI type of non-dynamic
Yeah.
writing. It was really, I didn't know who are we rooting for? Like we don't like this guy because he's dressed like a Nazi, like obviously, but
Yeah.
that's all I really took from it. Like I don't know why we care so much about these moon farmers. Oh wow, that sounded really colonizer. Anyway, I give it a popcorn Rebel Moon. So skip it, right, guys? But movies that, if you did skip this one, you probably should revisit. Our drunk classic this week was my pick, and it was Election. What'd you think of that thing? You've seen it before, of course.
Yeah, I've seen it a couple times. It's definitely like a dark humor, kind of
Yeah,
dark
black humor
comedy
for sure.
type thing. It's so I know one thing I noticed for sure is that the cover, like the cover art of this movie, is really weird and has nothing to do with the movie.
I didn't see the
It's
cover art.
it's like Reese Witherspoon's face close up with her mouth open, and Matthew Broderick is tiny and inside of her mouth, like, and it's just really weird.
Probably some weird late 90s avant-garde photography type of thing, you know?
It's strange. It's strange, but the general introductory premise of the movie is really problematic, like for its time. You know what I mean? Like she like hooks up with the teacher and got him fired or something like that.
Yeah, it was swept under the rug and everything.
Yeah, yeah,
Interesting.
yeah. It's weird that
Yeah.
I don't
Yeah,
know.
that's a good point. Like I forgot about all that. And when
Yeah,
the movie starts out just so like abruptly with it, and
yeah,
the way the direction they go with it, you know, I'm not saying it's bad writing, but it was shocking, and maybe it was meant to be shocking, but like it didn't quite age well, so it was like more shocking than maybe you meant it to be. I don't know.
yeah, yeah. And Matthew Broderick plays that like uptight, kind of perpetually peeved
Yeah.
guy, just like
Mhm.
he's just irritated for no reason about something kind of guy. The male Karen-ish. He
Mhm.
plays that role very well. That's his corner right there. It's just a very odd movie, but it's so funny. It's so funny. It's just got these little bits that just they stick with you. Like it's my favorite. This is a scene that everybody's seen from this movie is at the towards the end, throwing the soda at the car. And when
Yeah.
when she gets in the limo and it's leaving, when he sees her years later,
Yeah.
and just smacks the soda, he's like, and runs away. It's great. It's just a man's. It's just a man's descent into the consequences of his actions. He just one thing leads to another, and he just spirals out of control. And
Yeah.
it's just one of those slow unraveling of a guy, and
Right.
it's really funny. It's a great take on a teacher. It's like you'd expect, the bad kid in class is the one that drives a teacher crazy, but no, it's like the kid that's like the overachiever in your face, like
Right.
teacher's pet gone wrong kind of student that really can drive you insane. But so yeah, I give this movie go to popcorn and two. Popcorn and two.
Popcorn and two. Yeah, popcorn and
Yeah.
two. Popcorn and two. It's a dare I say Shakespearean level of
You said it. You said it. I
plot
didn't dare
loops
you,
and
but you said
such.
it. Yeah.
You better dare me. Yeah, I love this movie. I forgot how much I like it. I forgot how really funny it is. It's a frustrating movie. I don't usually go in for a type of movie where the protagonist, everything goes wrong for him over and over, and it just gets worse and worse and worse and worse. But the way that this movie plays it out it just makes it so bittersweet. And you you're not really even rooting for anybody. You're just
Yeah.
watching this train wreck happen. And it's a good, if you want to write a paper about it, it'd be something like, abusing power kind of thing. He's just a
Mhm.
teacher. He makes a few power moves, has a midlife crisis, and his entire life explodes. And now he's a miserable old man. Well, he's miserable man, whatever.
Yeah.
And then the overachiever. Is that my Siri talking? It was.
Siri thought you were talking about her, a miserable overachiever.
But the overachiever character is just like a force of nature, and if we could have just like let her have her senior year and then she'd be out of the school, but no, we have to agitate and whatever. Anyway, I love how she said people just don't understand how hard I worked for this, and why would they get in my way? Because I'm working hard. I deserve it because I'm working hard, and that's it. So that I love how every character except for the quarterback is kind of a piece of crap.
Yeah. Yeah.
He's not necessarily a great guy, but he's definitely got a pretty good heart. Like he made decisions that were like, he's just the big dumb himbo guy, but he meant well most of the time. Everyone else though, like they have the Reese Witherspoon's mom, here, take one of my pills. Oh, really? And then just Reese Witherspoon, of course, Matthew Broderick. The wife is kind of lame. The widow is kind of lame. Obviously, the pedophile teacher is kind of lame, etc. Everyone's a piece of crap in this movie.
Everyone is just super manipulative. Yeah.
Yeah, it's one of those movies that kind of paved the way for a show like Always Sunny in Philly, where everyone sucks, but it's hilarious, and they just thwart each other. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Sometimes accidentally. I love this movie. Popcorn and 2. Cool.
Mm-hmm.
Good stuff. Well, what else do we have? You went to the theater, right?
I did actually go to the theater and caught a movie. I was teetering between bringing you Abigail, which is what I did see, or the League of Ungentlemanly Warfare, the Bureau.
You were never going to see that.
I had a slight interest in it, but just the previews, overkill on the preview. Yeah, overkill on the preview just made it a little
Nazi scum, gentlemen.
I'll definitely be I'll stream it for sure, but just Guy Ritchie, and just it seemed a little bit full of itself and a little too corny.
A little bit Expendables.
Yeah, I don't know. It just but Abigail is what I did see, and it was great. It was fun. It was a really, really fun movie. If you can't tell from the previews, I'm not spoiling anything here. It's a vampire movie. It's a vampire movie.
Like a death house, right? Like they're trapped.
Yes, they're trapped in the house with the vampire, who happens to be a little girl who is really into ballet.
Great movie. Or great concept.
If you know vampire lore, I'm not going to say it, but there, she may not be what she seems. She looks like a little girl, but she's not. Obviously, she's been alive for thousands and thousands of years because she's a vampire. Yeah. So, it's the cast, this cast, and it's like kind of a B cast. And it's just a guy or a girl that you know from a thing, and they're from this and that, and they all work very well together, this cast and the characters that they play. Everybody, it's that kind of Clue dynamic where it's like, okay, this is this person, this guy's the dumb muscly guy, this guy is the former this, and this guy, but they all work very well together. No character is way too overpowering. They all just have their moments that are really good, and one of the characters is the guy from Euphoria, Angus Cloud, R.I.P., who, is not with us. And he is really good. That he's just a very magnetic personality because he doesn't really act, as far as you can tell. If you've ever seen interviews of him, he just kind of is himself, and it just works.
Kind of like Aubrey Plaza. Well, she's an actor.
Yeah. But... Yeah, no, I can definitely see what you mean there. Yeah, he's just a super Bay Area guy too, and I can appreciate that. And he brings, I don't know, he brought that into the movie. Like the only real song featured besides like ballet music is the Jacka song. And I'm like, I think he had some input on that, just RIP to the Jacka too as well. So,
Dang.
anyways, the last scene, this whole movie is good. It's gory, it's suspenseful. You get the jump scares. It's got some, psychological scariness. The little girl who plays Abigail is phenomenal. Like you really forget that, this is a little girl acting in this role.
Cool.
She is really, really good. Yeah, her delivery on these lines is like adorable, but just really terrifying. It's great. My only thing with this movie, like I really wanted to give it just like thinking of it as like a horror vampire movie, just really trying to keep it in those parameters. I wanted to give it a popcorn and 2. I was really at a popcorn 2, but the last scene of the movie just goes on a little bit too long, and they try to cram in too many little aha moments at the end that are just super unnecessary. And then I guess there's like some cameo at the end that just doesn't land because you're like, wait, who is this guy? Like, in the sense, like, I don't know why you're expecting this cameo because they're kind of building up to it, and you're like, okay, this is going to be some like actor, some big actor, like it's going to be
Bill Murray.
Yeah, it's just something like that. You're expecting, you're just like, wait, who is this guy? You have no idea. Like I had to Google it, and I was like, okay, I guess. Never heard of this man in my life. So yeah, that definitely, it definitely just didn't. It didn't pay off quite the way, but it gives you the like a closure type ending for sure. Like you get like, yeah, I don't want to spoil it, but this is definitely a very fun movie. Like go watch it. Maybe not in theaters if horror isn't really your thing, but definitely go watch it.
Horror is definitely best watched in the theater. Horror's made for the theater. If you can manage it.
I love it. It definitely will be in my Halloween rotation. It's definitely a movie that's on streaming. I'll be like, hey, we're going to sit down and watch this. Like, watch this movie. Right. This is fun. This is good. So it's a popcorn in one. It's definitely a popcorn in one, but go watch it. It's a very fun, good one.
Nice, dude.
Yeah. And then the last thing I watched is I finished Fallout, the series.
Fallout! Nice. I'm jealous. I'm close to finishing it, but...
We talked about the first episode or two, the first few episodes, more or less. So yeah, it's 8 episodes. It's kind of a long series. I mean, episodes run from like an hour and 15 minutes.
Yeah.
It just seems chunky. Yeah, it also seems like you're getting a lot in every episode. Like they're running through this storyline, in every episode.
I mean, every other scene is like full of lore. I mean, you could sit there with a notebook and write down all the things that are in each episode. It's a lot.
Yeah, it just feels like you've been through a lot. At the end of each episode, you're like, wow. You're gonna have to take a deep breath. The armor suit again is awesome. The ghoul is awesome. But my favorite character is Barv. Because she's just trying to eat her can of beans. I love that. Barv! I'm sorry I yelled at you, Barv.
I love Barv.
I love those 2 old ladies were great. I needed more of them in the series. Yeah. The main guy, my thing about this that really kept throwing me off. He's a great actor. He acted all of his scenes pretty well.
You mean Finn the main guy, Star Wars?
Yeah. Just his voice kind of throws me off very much. Like it just kind of doesn't fit. He has this very
it's interesting.
Yeah,
I like his character. I mean, I haven't finished the series, but I'm more than halfway through, and his character every episode, I'm like, what? He's a very intriguing. Like, I'm not sure. I don't think he's fully revealed himself to himself. You know what I mean? Like, he's an interesting character.
He's very odd. He just kind of looks like a big 5-year-old, like his facial
Yeah,
expressions
and
and
he
the way
acts
he
like
acts.
one too. He has like
Yeah,
a weird naivety. Like he's not like regular naive.
yeah, 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 exactly. And then yeah, again with him, the scene with the two when they find the weird vault that they fall into, and they're in the
Hmm.
quarantine chamber, and she's
Oh
like,
yeah.
"So, you want to hook up?"
Oh yeah.
And the way that
Oh
that whole
yeah.
scene plays out, you're like, "Ew, ew."
Oh dude,
Yeah, it's so weird.
I don't like
So
any of this. Yeah. Oh
it's
no. And like,
very
and
cringy.
then like, you just like hate the character from then on. Like, oh dude, you missed out, bud. Like you
Yeah,
missed
yeah.
out.
Yeah,
Oh,
weirdo.
you have changed your whole life.
Yeah.
You big weirdo.
But, it's the characters. Everything is this is really, really good TV, streaming
Hmm.
TV. It's true to the series. It's been renewed for a second season. We want more. We definitely want it. We're ready for it.
We're ready for
Um,
it, dude.
as far as like pilot seasons go, I'm gonna give this a popcorn and 3.
I'm not fighting you on it, man. I was gonna say like I said, I'm not finished, but I mean it's on track for me. Like maybe one of the greatest video game
Yeah,
adaptations I've ever seen.
there's
It's
nothing.
it's absolutely incredible. It's caused a resurgence. Fallout 76, the failed MMO that they made, has 30 million new players
Dude,
overnight.
my one of my nephews was playing a game on his little tablet, and I'm like, "What are you playing?" And I look because it's like it looks crazy. I was like,
Fallout
"It looks
Shelter,
fun." Yeah, he's playing that, and I'm like,
love
"Dude."
that game. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I'm like, "Dude."
I played that back when it first came out. It's a great game. You should get it
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So we want more of it. Definitely,
for
Popcorn 3.
sure.
There's just nothing innately I can say is really all that wrong with it that I didn't enjoy in this show.
Yeah, for sure.
Like
I,
it's
I I
good.
don't see anything wrong. It's good acting, good writing. They stick to the lore, which is so thick. The Fallout
Mhm,
lore is thick, Bubba.
mhm.
And I mean, it's inspired. I was just now playing Fallout 4. I just re-downloaded it. I'm playing that
Yeah,
now
yeah. I
because
thought
it's
about it. I've
so it's
considered
so good. And
it.
I'm pretty sure they got to be like they're just stupid if they aren't working on a Fallout game right now, like
Oh
rushing it.
yeah. Oh
They're
yeah.
stupid because I
Hmm.
mean, this is money in the bank. Yeah, good job. Fallout. Can't wait to finish it. I'm gonna just mention probably later when I finish it that it was a popcorn 3 because I'm gonna go ahead and call it right now.
Yeah. Yeah.
So,
They have a great finale, by the way, too.
oh really?
Just as far as finales go, it's very good. Yes.
Nice. That's a
Yeah.
popcorn and 3. Very cool. Can't wait for season 2. The lead actor. The lead actor. She. I'm not sure if you recognize her, but she was one of the mean girls in Kick-Ass 2.
Oh,
That what's her
really?
face hit girl hits her with the puke stick. She's one of those girls.
Okay. She's
I
in.
recognize her because she has those big old eyes. I'm like, I know her from somewhere. Yeah.
She's in the show Yellow Jackets. I
Oh,
mean,
really?
everybody's seen. She's killed off.
Okay. She's a
But
favorite, or
yeah, she was good. She's really,
oh.
really good in that show. But she's kind of killed off, but still in it. If you've seen the show, you get what I mean. It's a weird
If you know, you know. You know what I mean?
time jumpy, yeah, thing.
Yeah,
Yeah.
no, yeah, no. All right. Well, here's what I know. I watched a show it's a stand-up special by Tig Notaro. Big fan of stand-ups, as I'm sure you are as well. We talk about
Yeah.
stand-ups a lot, actually, on this show.
Oh yeah.
It
Love
seems
it.
to be always at least one in every other show or so. But I watched Tig Notaro's newest one on, I think it's Netflix, Happy to Be Here. Do you know Tig Notaro?
A little bit.
Okay.
She's new on my radar. From when she was in that zombie movie, or they were in the zombie movie. He was in the zombie movie. I'm
She,
sorry, I don't. She okay. I don't know her
yeah, she's just a
thing.
regular old lesbian.
Oh, okay. All
Uh,
right.
oh
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. Didn't they put her in someone's place because they got replaced or something?
Yeah.
Resident Evil
Yeah.
or
It
interesting.
was in that Heist of the Dead or Land of the Dead, the
Okay,
one with
okay.
Batista. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, 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 yeah. I forgot she was in that, and she's in a Star Trek too, I think. But she's a stand-up primarily. She's been around for a while. I mean, it would serve you well to just go ahead and YouTube everything she's done on Conan. Conan had her on stand up a lot on his show. She's been on there a lot. I've seen a lot of her work. She's one of my favorite comedians. I say maybe top 10, top 15. I love her work. She's just so like dry and like I want to say like her work, like it tickles me. That's the kind of laughter that I get from her stuff. You know what I mean? Yeah, some people are belly laughers, but hers are like, what? You know, like for instance, towards the end of her show, she does this part where she brings out the piano and she starts playing piano while she tells jokes like Zach Galifianakis and Bo Burnham or whatever.
Yeah,
but she doesn't know how to play, so she's just hammering the keys and talking about that for a while. And it's a good bit. The whole bit's really good. She can't sing. She does a little singing. She talks about being a parent. I think this special was her weakest work, though, unfortunately. Mm-hmm. I don't know what exactly it was that didn't really catch me that before has. Maybe it's that she's married and has a kid and is happy now. It happens to a lot of comedians. Happens to a lot of comedians.
Death by happiness, yeah.
Yeah, but I still do like her. I do like the show. I think it's worth watching. I give it a popcorn 1. I follow her everywhere she goes. I listen to her podcast once in a while. It's called Handsome. It's her and 2 other lesbians, and they just like talk. It's really it's stupid, but it's funny. I like her. She's great. Take the Taro, popcorn 1. That's what I say about that. Netflix. Check her out.
Yeah.
What do you got? Scargiver, right?
That was it.
No, I just ruined your intro. Start that one over. What'd you watch?
No, that's all I watched.
You didn't watch Scargiver?
No, I thought we talked about that.
Did you?
Yeah, we talked. I was saying none of the characters, 30 minutes of tantric wheat farming, none of the monologues.
I thought that was Rebel Moon 2.
It's called Scargiver.
Oh. Okay. What the fuck is Scargiver? All right.
Oh, that's a blurb. A short video.
Yeah, that's how forgetful that movie was. All right,
yeah, exactly.
Just lastly, I've already reviewed this, and
by the way, wait, I'm sorry, but by the way, the Scargiver name, the moniker in it, has nothing to do with the movie. There is no relevance to it other than she kills the guy in the first one. They put him back together. And he has a little scar on his chest, and they refer to it once for like 2 seconds, but it has no relevance to the movie at all. Like, she's the Scargiver, I guess. What? But just she gave him a scar, and that's why she's the Scargiver. Nobody else in the movie calls her that. It's just irrelevant. It has no relevance to the movie. This whole Scargiver thing. It's stupid.
Stupid.
It's stupid.
I mean, so is the title Rebel Moon. I mean, the whole thing's dumb.
Yeah,
the whole thing is dumb. So cookie cutter, and I do give praise to the robot bad guy though for how skinny he got for no reason.
Oh my god, yeah.
What was that? But I guess he's a robot, right? So why would he have body fat? Anyway, so method.
Make a fat robot. That's great. Yeah.
Why though? But why did you add all the silicone? I don't know. It was cool looking.
We had extra.
we had extra robots, so we just piled it in. Lastly, I've reviewed this at least once, and I talked about it before, how this is one of the comfort movies for Mom when we were kids. So we watched Speed all the time. I've watched Speed at least 50 times, guaranteed. You know, Keanu and Sandra Bullock. By the way, Sandra Bullock, it seems she's gotten a nose job, because her nose doesn't look like that anymore. Anyway, I just wanted to say, Speed, the very last scene of the movie, I've watched it so many times and never noticed. So they're on a subway train. It's blasting through, and now it's going through railways that aren't finished yet. They're on the rails they're going off the rails, right? So it's a whole subway train careening through this tunnel with no tracks, okay? It's going like 70 miles an hour. That doesn't make sense. That doesn't matter, though. They're bracing for impact, right? And then it cuts back to the train. Now the whole train is just 2 cars. And then, okay, they budget stuff, okay? And then they show this big thing where clearly, like in the 90s, they did this a lot where they show the scene and like Sandlot, where the dog's about to come through the theater screen, right? So they show the theater screen first, and then they cut back to it where the job. Anyway, so they show this the area, right? And then the things, and now it was 2 cars, and now it's just 1 car that gets T-boned by a pillar, and it's still moving. Like it hits a T-bone, but it's still, then it goes back to being 70 miles an hour or whatever. But now it's just the 1 car, and then somehow it hits this ramp and flies to the surface through the thing they showed earlier. Big sign, boom. Now it's just 1 car though. It went from a whole train to 2 cars to 1 car, and it stops. And they're like, "Oh, we made it!" And then it shows everyone gathers around. Hey, they're alive, and they start kissing. And then Sandra Bullock's like, "Hey, we should bone." And then it pans out, and the car's there, the people are there. The hole that the train came through, not there. It was just, it was just like a bunch of like. You guys missed that? Oh, you missed that too? I'm sure the editors are like, they'll never notice. Fuck them.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Totally.
Anyway, just wanted to point that out. I feel like it's funny that I missed that after watching it so many times. Oh, enough of that. What are we going to watch next week for a Butter on Top, buddy?
Well, some of us on this show are just real big fans of Zendaya.
Roll.
And this is her. I'm, I could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure this is her starring leading woman moment right here.
Oh,
for film. So we're gonna see how she does. I have really high hopes for this movie. It's a drama, suspensey kind of love triangle drama with sports. It's called Challengers.
Challengers. As is the prophecy of, if you play Mary Jane Watson in a Spider-Man film, you have to make a tennis movie afterwards. So she did, just like the other 2 did. Yeah, Emma
Really?
Watson, tennis player. Kirsten Dunst, tennis player. Wimbledon was her movie. I forgot what Emma Watson's movie was. But
wow,
they all 3 of them made tennis movies right after they were Spider-Man peak girls. Isn't that weird?
That's incredible. That's
I wonder
great.
if there's some kind of Illuminati connection there. What? Anyway. Yeah, I'm interested in this movie. It sounds funny. It's a sexy movie. It's a sports movie. It's got elements that I'm interested in.
Mm-hmm.
Now, we are also talking about a drunk classic, however. What do you got in mind, bud?
Yeah. This is a very personal pick to me. It's part of my everyday life. It is a biopic I'm going to make you watch.
Damn it.
And it is Howard Stern Private Parts.
Oh!
Yeah.
Private Parts by Howard Stern. I've never watched that movie.
Oh, great. You're going to love it. It's really what made me a fan of his.
Really?
Honestly, yeah. Once I watched that movie, I was like, I got to listen to this show because he is so funny on screen.
Okay.
So,
well,
yeah, it's great.
That's definitely a movie that was a big part of the zeitgeist when it came out.
Mm-hmm.
And I didn't know what it was about. I just know that it was him naked with buildings covering him up. And that was like the poster that was everywhere. And I'm like, I'm not watching that because I was a kid.
That's a body double, by the way, that he jokes about on his show. That is not his body.
Oh, is it him? Is it really him in the movie? I thought someone was playing him.
No, it's him. It's him playing himself throughout his whole life. Yeah. All the regular people are in it.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, I'm interested. Can't wait.
It's good.
Great. I guess that's the show. You want to talk about anything else for 10 more minutes? Thanks for coming out, guys. We're going to see you next week. You can always reach us at Popcorn and Beer on X. Working on some other things. Got some websites coming. I got, we're going to sell some Popcorn and Beer diapers. So the idea is that they're big red diapers, big wet diapers, and you put them on. That way you don't have to go to the bathroom mid-movie. It's a thing that old people have to deal with. I'm not sure about you young kids. But put on a big wet diaper, Get your popcorn and your beers. We'll see you at the movies.
Yeah.
That was strange. All right.